nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Genesis, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Genesis, nice to meet you.
Alright, Genesis. First, tell me what your favorite event in decathlon.
My favorite event in decathlon is Super Quiz, and the reason it's my favorite event is because I've always really liked French history, and I never thought that I would do decathlon and be involved in something like that. I took French for 2 years, and I really loved it, but I never had a good teacher, so I kind of put that on the other side, and so I took this opportunity to like become really invested into the Super Quiz topic, which is the French Revolution, and I've just enjoyed it.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I think, well, because I want to become a doctor, I think I'd probably still be in school. But I think, besides that, I think I would, besides being an intern, all that necessary path, I think I'd see myself still doing the things I kind of do now. Like, I'd still like to be playing tennis. I'd still want to do community service. I'd still want to be involved in NIMITS, be involved in decathlon. Like, I'd still love to come back and be that person who comes back.
Alright. Now if you were on a flight for a pretty long time and you could have anyone sit next to you that you can have a conversation with, who would it be?
I think, honestly, I think it would be my decathlon coach, Mr. Jackson. Because I think we see teachers as these people who are like superheroes, you know, like they do everything and you're kind of like, wow, they do all this stuff, and they have kind of a different face on when with their students. But I think like a person like Mr. Jackson, like a decathlon coach, I think if you just kind of like sat there for a while and let him open up, he'd tell you all these things about his life and his work with decathlon and what he's loved about it, what maybe he hasn't loved about it. And I think when you're given that much time, people just open up and let you know how they really feel.
You mentioned earlier that you want to become a doctor. Now why?
I've always wanted to help people, and I know that it's really difficult to become a doctor, but I think it's something I've always just wanted to do because, not because, you know, I've had like great doctors or anything, but because it's something that people are always going to need. People are always going to need a doctor, even if they don't particularly like going to the doctor. It's always going to be something that's necessary, and it's not much of job security, but more because you know that somebody needs you. You know that you could provide a service that isn't like fast food, or it isn't buying clothes or something. It's like you're helping them and you're helping their health, and you're trying to make sure that they're better and that they're okay.
What would you say is your least favorite event in decathlon?
My least favorite event in decathlon would probably have to be speech. And I think it's because I'm not very used to standing up and talking to people. And as for just the idea of speech, I think it could be a very subjective kind of, well, obviously it's a very subjective kind of thing. And so the people there, they don't know much about you, so your speech has to be perfect. Like, you can't come off as this person they wouldn't want to talk to. Like, I think one of the goals of speech is that when you get out of there, they're like, that kid's interesting. And so if you don't bring that to the table as soon as possible, and if you don't perform well, or if you don't give your speech well, then that person is left with the wrong impression.
Alright, you said teachers are kind of like superheroes. Now, if you were a superhero, what kind of power would you want?
I think I would love to fly. Because I think that's something, you know, people are always like, oh, you can do whatever you want. Obviously, you can't just like jump off the roof and fly, you know, and so it's something that just like Batman could fly, and, you know, all these other superheroes could fly. It's something so inaccessible now, but that if you could do it, I think it'd be a lot of fun, you know, just like in the air, just, you know, with whatever wings or however you'd be able to fly or whatever. I just think that would be kind of fun.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was so nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Of course.